Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Annette the Peacemaker, and we are here for hopefully happy Impeachment Day. And so I've been watching them discuss and vote and whatever on impeachment all day, all morning, and I even drove to the store and I put it on my phone. I switched from ABC to C-SPAN because I didn't want all that extra stuff in between, I just wanted to watch what was happening in the room. So anyway, I still have it pulled up. I still have C-SPAN pulled up on my phone, and I looked it up, and I am allowed to share C-SPAN videos as long as I show the C-SPAN logo on the screen and give them full credit. So, but I don't think that I can share the streaming, like as they're I can't stream while they're streaming. I can't stream their stream. You know what I mean? So, but I am watching the stream on my phone here. Let me go back up. So let me turn it sideways so it's a little bigger. All right. So will this reach that far? Yes, it will. I have to untangle my thing. But anyway, oops. All right. So right now we are at, the yays are Democratic 221, and the Republicans are 10, and so it's 231 yays to 197 nays. So that is exciting. And then, so earlier when they were going back and forth, I mean, there's a lot of formalities, like the distinguished gentleman from Ohio will blah, 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 blah. And like, they have to go through that for every single person. And like the procedural part of it can be really daunting if you're not used to it. But true story, we went without cable or satellite or anything for a really, really long time. And when we moved here, we got it, and had it for a while. And we ended up turning it off because I became obsessed with watching C-SPAN and bouncing around all the different news stations all day long. And I would watch C-SPAN for like 12 hours a day or whatever. And then I found Andrew Yang. So then I just transferred all of that over to Yang. But I do get to missing C-SPAN a lot. And I remember making a post saying, you've reached a certain age when the first time you have cable in years, the first channel you go to is C-SPAN. I was so excited. I'm like, we have C-SPAN now. Yay. Okay. So, all right. I don't remember what the numbers were before, but it's 231 to 197 right now. Let's see. I have a notification here. Okay, so I am open to people jumping in, but I kind of want to vet my guests, because it's kind of an ugly time in America. And I'm not really I'm not in the mood to deal with any anger or arguing or anything like that. So if you have good intentions and you would like to join me, you can say something on the screen and I will send you a link privately. And yeah, So here in just a second, I'm just trying to get my cord untangled so I can move my phone a little further away. So anyway, in just a second here, I'm going to go pull up some C-SPAN videos because I know that they have some clips already up, and we can start watching some clips from the remarks earlier, because some of them were fire. Okay, so I had to leave for a little bit. My husband is not feeling well today, so I had to run to the store in his place, and I had to do it before a certain time. So anyway, I did that, but I like totally put it on my phone and then put it on my dashboard, you know, my little dashboard thing. And I didn't stop watching it for a minute. Got my propane filled, bought some milk, had it hooked up to my phone because I couldn't find my headphones. So, okay, here we go. I'm done. So share screen. You have to tell them you want to share the screen about 3 or 4 times. Oh, okay. Thank you, Grace, for letting me know. Do I need to put my mic closer? Does that sound a little bit better? Sometimes there's a lag from my end to the other end, so we're just gonna hope that works. All right, so let's go to YouTube, and I already have it up, so I can't show that. Okay, gosh dang it. I don't think I can show that. But this is what I have on my phone. This is the view that I have on my phone, and that's what I'm watching. So let's go to C-SPAN channel. Be sure to click subscribe. If you are a young person watching this and want to know like reliable news, okay, thank you, reliable news sources, I would say C-SPAN is probably the most reliable because it's literally just this of what them right there in the room. It's like what's happening in the room, and you get to, there's no like extra commentary on the side. There's no real opinions or anything. It's just, sometimes it's extremely dull, and sometimes it's super exciting. Like I have been on the edge of my seat today watching this and watching them bounce back and forth of yes, we should, no, we shouldn't, yes, we should, no, we shouldn't. And to me, it's very exciting. So I hope that younger people really start to get involved. Like I didn't really start getting involved. Like I got excited during Bernie's campaign in 2016. And that got me kind of fired up and kind of started opening my eyes to some things and whatever. And I started paying attention more. So then, you guys, I'm going to have a cocktail. I've got my Tang right here.
Have all members voted?
Okay, hold on.
Does any member wish to change a vote?
Listen. Okay, so right now it sounds like that they're coming to a close, and as it stands, it looks like it's at 231 yays and 197 nays. So if that is accurate, it sounds like we have impeached Donald John Trump. So, all right, let's see. All right, we can't do it live. All right, so I'm going to cruise through here. Okay, this was at the beginning, Nancy Pelosi. I don't really love Pelosi,
On this vote,
but
the ayes are 232.
okay, wait.
The nays are 197. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. That's it. What now? And everybody.
Okay, one more vote came in from when I last saw, so it was 232 to 197. So who do we want to look at? Let's see what's up here.
The chair announces that pursuant to Section 3A of House Resolution 41, the House Resolution 40 is hereby adopted.
Man, I haven't had Malibu rum in a while.
The chair announces
Like
the Speaker's appointment pursuant to Clause 11 of Rule 10, Clause 11 of Rule 1, in the order the following of the House of January 4th, 2021, of the following members of the House to the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence.
Okay.
Mr. Schiff of California, Chair. Mr. Nunes of California.
I want the most recent. I wish I could filter. Where's that? McCarthy, Pelosi. This is the same. $5 days ago. All right. Let's.
Pursuant to Section 5A, 1B of House Resolution 8, the House stands adjourned until 11 a.m. on Friday, January 15th, 2021.
Here, I know what we'll do, you guys.
Another first for the presidency of Donald Trump. This is the second time in America, the second time he has been impeached. This afternoon, less than a week to go before the new president is sworn in next Wednesday by a vote of 231 to 197. The House of Representatives on one article of impeachment on inside.
Uh-oh. I wonder if they cut me off. Well, maybe it's an ad. Maybe I have to watch an ad. Oh, it's just an ad.
This is the canoe.
I'm so nervous about that.
They lost in together.
That was a lovely looking ad, though. It was pretty. Jordan Klepper. I like him.
Last week we saw one of the darkest days in American history. And for better or worse, I was there. It was a day that began with the president holding a rally outside of the White House to push lies about voter fraud and urge his followers to take action to overturn the election.
Excuse me, is the sedition happening over here? Is the sedition, is it over here?
Do you know where the sedition is?
We do not consent to be governed.
Nor shall we ever be consented to be governed by an illegal, fraudulent election.
But you elected a guy who also doesn't care much about consent.
We do not consent.
Will you accept Joe Biden as president of the United States on the 20th?
No, I will not accept it. No, I will not. So look, I've educated myself about this, okay? I don't know all that's in the Constitution.
Have you read it? It's pretty short.
Constitution of America?
Yeah.
I've not read the whole thing, no. You've read the entire thing?
Yes, it's remarkably short.
All right. I doubt that, but it's okay.
You should read it, because you might be committing a seditious act in an hour and a half.
Okay, I'm not going to comment about that.
The people didn't vote for Joe Biden. No, the Dominion system voted for Joe Biden.
Do you think it's possible that Hugo Chavez infiltrated the Dominion systems, changed the votes, orchestrated by Joe Biden?
I think anything's possible.
Do you think it's possible that a president who never pulled above 50% lost the election? There's a story about it?
Absolutely not.
That's not possible. The one thing you couldn't help but notice was just how many people looked like they were preparing for battle. From the tactical vests to the pitchforks, This rally felt charged. You can tell these people really love America by the number of weapons they brought to hurt other Americans. Looks like we got some Proud Boy action. Either that or the Cabela Street Team. What's your flag say? Come and take it. Come and take it. Do you have a weapon? No. No? Why not? Did they take it? Sorry, bro. I was worried that we were in trouble, but then I saw that we got the tyranny response team here, and I feel a lot better. Thanks for all you do. And for those supposedly caught off guard, claiming they didn't see this violence coming, if you paid attention to any of these rallies, all you have to do is open your eyes and ears. The message isn't exactly subtle.
Make no mistake, we have the guns, and we are now in the streets. We are going to clean this place out one way or another. You look down there, I have 1 million plus people angry. Very, very angry people.
Can I ask why you're...
But they weren't violent. They weren't violent at all. They didn't intend to be violent.
Of what people over time have done in this country.
This is just an ad on C-SPAN, you guys, but it's
legal in this
brilliant.
Yeah, are you farming today?
It's a representation. We're not asking for violence right now.
I gotta tell you, from the movies I've seen, the hordes of people with pitchforks are usually the bad guys.
How close do you think we are to 1861?
So hang on.
Are we close?
Hell yeah, you are.
That's the Civil War.
Would you rather die on your knees than be free?
Aren't you a little bit freaked out about 600,000 Americans dying? I see you're not wearing masks. Never mind. This thing was a powder keg. All it took was someone to light the fuse. Like these human blowtorches.
Let's have trial by combat. Stand up and fight. Stand up and hold your representatives accountable. We're going to walk down to the Capitol because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength.
With those orders, the crowd of economically anxious insurrectionists advanced on the Capitol. So we've been following this protest. We headed to the Capitol, and the Trump supporters just broke through the gates, and they're now heading into the Capitol right now. People are getting waved up towards the Capitol. Take it back. I mean, people say, let's go, keep going. Who are you with?
The American people.
The American people. Are you military?
Not answering that.
You're not military?
No,
Why are you dressed like military?
I'm not. It's just clothes.
Is that camouflage?
It is.
But you're in an urban environment. Isn't that sort of the antithetical to camouflage?
I don't think so.
Are you looking to make an aggressive action right now?
No, I'm looking to make a statement.
What's your statement?
The election was stolen. We want free and fair elections.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't have that in this country, we don't have anything.
So what do you plan on doing?
We're just going to see how it unfolds.
You see how it unfolds. All right. Good luck with the paintball tournament.
Good luck with the paintball tournament.
What's your plan? What's your plan?
For what?
What are you? Are you storming the Capitol?
I'm just going to protect somebody.
Is this the last stand?
Saying it is.
This looks like the last stand. Are you afraid if you run out of batteries for the last stand that you'll be thwarted? Good luck. I hope you don't run into bumpy terrain or stairs. While Segway Stonewall Jackson is laughable on his child's scooter, the rioters brought real weapons and committed real atrocities. They attacked our democracy, our police, and even our cameraman.
Does that matter? You assaulted me. I was saying you assaulted me.
Trump's fake tough guy military are literally throwing themselves on the ground to perpetuate victimhood. If the Trump presidency was going to come to an end, this seems fitting. A show of
How
aggression,
patriotic of them.
ending with a bunch of people screaming at a building without a working understanding of how democracy works. America 2021.
It's almost over.
Thunder, cannon, tear gas. Let's not wait to find out. In the end, the crowd didn't stop our democracy. Let's take heart in that. This shit-stained rebellion failed, as did my dry January.
Okay. I'm just going to pause that. Okay, so it looks like it's here. So I wanted to see if some of the people that spoke today have clips of their speeches up. So I saw Rashida Tlaib. Is that how you spell it? Oh my God, I hope I didn't blow it. I follow her. Where's somebody needs to tag her? Guys, I know. You guys, I don't love AOC, okay? So anybody watching this, don't get your panties in a bunch, but she's in the squad, and I was kind of hoping she would share, but no, I'm not really seeing that either. My goodness gracious. Okay, so all of this is public, so. All right, House of Representatives votes 232 to 197 to impeach. He's the first president in history to be impeached twice. You guys must be so proud. Trump impeached after Capitol riot, historic second charge. Some Republicans joined in a remarkably speedy impeachment just 1 week after lawmakers say the president incited McConnell reiterated to his colleagues in a note that he wouldn't bring the Senate back early, per sources. That means Trump will serve out the rest of his term unless he changes course and decides to resign. Okay, so I want to talk about that for a second. So the reason it was so important to impeach, even though it was the very last minute, was because he's like dangerous to society. He's really, really scary. His followers are really, really scary and very, very angry. They say so themselves. They have no problems telling everybody in the world how freaking angry they are all the time. And then that just makes everybody else angry. Like, why are you so angry? Fuck you! Dude, like, why don't you just kind of chill out, you know? Like, maybe we can find, like, some kind of common ground or something. No, I don't want to do that. Hey, but here's some data and facts, you know? Like, can I present some facts to you? La, 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 la. You know, it's just freaking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. So it says he was undecided. I don't really know how McConnell went. Name 9 House Democrats and managers. I don't care about that so much. I have to say, Nancy has some really nice mask wear. This one is exceptionally pretty. I really like that. I'm still pissed at her about the ice cream shit, though. That didn't fly. But I'll give her props. That's pretty. She does a good job matching. I'm a matcher. Matchy. All the colors have to match. So she does a good job at that. So there, Nancy. Oh, and I actually, I complimented her physique today. I was like, you know, she looks better than I do. And she's like, not quite twice my age, but like, she's significantly older than me. And she's got a pretty decent body. Not gonna lie. All right, I bet we can play this.
have the responsibility to fill that oath to build. In the Bible, St. Paul wrote, think on these things. We must think on what Lincoln told us. We, even us here, hold the power and bear the responsibility. We, you and I, hold and trust the power that derives most directly from the people of the United States. And we bear the responsibility to fill that oath that we all swear before God and before one another. The oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, so help us God. We know that we face enemies of the Constitution. We know we experienced the insurrection that violated the sanctity of the people's capital and attempted to overturn the duly recorded will of the American people. And we know that the President of the United States incited this insurrection, this armed rebellion against our common country. He must go. He is a clear and present danger to the nation that we all love.
Okay, so that was Nancy earlier. I had to add a little more alcohol to my tang. It wasn't strong enough for the occasion. If I'm going to drink, I might as well do it right. Okay. Okay, so let's watch this.
Most Americans want neither inaction nor retribution. They want durable, bipartisan justice. That path is still available, but is not the path we are on today. That doesn't mean the president is free from fault. The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action by President Trump. Accept his share of responsibility. Quell the brutal. And the president's immediate action also deserves congressional action, which is why I think a fact-finding commission and a censure resolution would be prudent. Unfortunately,
I don't really know what that means.
Where we are today. Most Americans want neither inaction nor retribution. They want durable, but
okay, I don't really know what a censure resolution against the president is. Let's look it up. What is a censure resolution against the president? Okay, Wikipedia. Let's find the best source, you guys. Is Wikipedia the best source? Resolution. This looks a little... That's a PDF. PBS News. We can go with that. As the impeachment inquiry, new round of hearings. Censure is a formal disapproval. Come on now. Formal disapproval that can be adopted by one or both chambers of Congress. Unlike impeachment, censure is not a power provided by the Constitution, said Gregory Megarian, a professor of law at Washington University in St. Louis. The House and Senate have adopted internal rules that allow them to draft and approve a censure resolution, which provides a public record disapproving of an official's actions. Such a resolution is a rebuke, but does not carry any material punishment like removal from office. So what I was going to say earlier is that it's important that we impeach him, so that means that he can never hold power, any elected office again. And Like he like has no power, and like we won't have to pay his pension, and we don't have, like, our tax money won't have to continue paying for his stupid golf. And it sounds like to me he's going to lose Mar-a-Lago, and he's going to lose Trump Tower, and he's going to lose everything. All because he is a terrible human being, okay? And like, I'll never, ever, for the life of me, for as long as I live, I kid you not, as much as I may love certain people, I will never, for the life of me, understand how anybody could, be exuberant about supporting this guy. It just, like, I'll never understand it. You know, like, I'll always love those people that I love, but man, I just will never understand it. So, okay, so here we go. Why are we talking about this rather than impeachment? Impeachment and subsequent removal from office are the ultimate penalty lawmakers can place on a president. The Democrat-led House is likely to impeach Trump, but the Republican-led Senate is unlikely to remove him from office. And this is from the last time that we impeached him. Censure has been discussed among legal. Okay. Censure requires a lower investment than impeachment. So, like, you don't have to commit to removing him from office. But lawmakers can go on record stating their disapproval. All right. Well, okay. So that's cool. Okay, this guy was pretty fiery. I know we're going to find the Rashida one.
And trying to, it was unforgivable, unconscionable. And coming up on this floor and talking about whataboutism and trying to make these false equivalencies. Give me a break. The President of the United States instigated an attempted coup in this country. People died. Everybody should be outraged, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. If this is not an impeachable offense, I don't know what the hell is. This president is not fit to remain in office.
For years, Donald Trump has honored thugs worldwide who suppress democracy. For months, with a daily diet of lies, he has made clear his refusal to accept any election in which he was not the winner. Trump basically attempted to overthrow the government.
Gentleman from Massachusetts.
If this is not impeachable,
the gentleman
nothing
from
is.
Oklahoma is recognized.
Telling domestic terrorists, nearly all of them were white supremacists, many of them who support him politically, who stormed the Capitol to derail Congress from completing its constitutionally required duty of counting and verifying the votes.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentleman from Massachusetts reserves. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Here I rise today to urge the impeachment of Donald Trump because the attack on the Capitol and the Congress was the single most depraved betrayal of the U.S. Constitution ever committed by a president. The traitorous incitement of an insurrection demands not just impeachment, but removal from office immediately. Violence during the transfer of power, Confederate flags, anti-Semitic paraphernalia desecrated this Capitol. So accountability must come swiftly. We must act with the same resoluteness we showed in the early morning hours after the insurrection, where we ensured the will of the voters was effectuated. Donald Trump's defilement of this Capitol will not stand. It demands impeachment now. I yield back.
I texted my husband while we were watching that, and I tried to type honey, but I typed homie instead. And he texted back, homie. That's funny. Yes. Okay, so this is kind of, All right. That's not a video. So this guy, I don't like him. I don't think I like this guy. Tom Cole, Democrats are rushing to judgment. Okay, so this is what a lot of them were saying, that it was rushed. We haven't had any trials. It's all about like this one singular event. But like there's many events leading up to this. So it's not just this one thing. You want a trial by combat. Well, this is a different kind of combat. Legal combat. Donald John Trump engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the government of the United States. So this has never happened in my lifetime. I think I was born after Nixon. Or maybe I was just a baby. Anyway, that was the last time that anything this major has happened. I mean, Bill Clinton was impeached pretty much over the blowjob, but not so much about the blowjob. It's because he lied about the blowjob. That was just crossing too much of a line. My goodness. He lied about a mistress. Yeah, House debate is now underway. That was 4 hours ago, so we already know. Should we see what Andrew Yang has to say? Okay, so today, everybody, is Andrew's birthday, but he wants us to wait till later on this evening to give him wishes and donations, and I have a feeling that's going to be because he'll be announcing running for mayor, is my guess. That's what he's going to be doing later tonight for his birthday. And just look at this precious picture. Look how sweet that is. He's just like such a normal dude. Look at how frayed his jeans are at the bottom, It's just so cute. It's just such a dad moment. I've never seen Trump embrace I've seen him embrace Ivanka. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't see him embracing his children except that one. Okay, so he says that. I'm 46 today. If you could say my birthday wishes or donations until later tonight, so that way he can have a big surge. Hashtag Yang Surge. All right, so our friend Nell Nieves has started an online channel to teach Yang Gang or whoever wants to see it or learn how to create your own brand, including tips, tricks for graphic design, photography, and interviews with other creative people. So Nell is a super cool cat. He's like 100% OG Yang Gang for life. And you can go to mycreativeworkshop.com to learn more about this. Pretty sure it's free. Let's watch this clip.
What's going on, guys? I'm Nel Nieves, and welcome to My Creative Workshop, where you'll learn everything you need to know on how to create your brand. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? I'm Nel Nieves, and
so Yang Gang love to Nell, because then he created this poster, and then he lives in New York, so he's gonna, I'm sure, be super involved in campaigning for him in New York for mayor. And so he hung that up in the subway. He's building an army of graphic designers for the Yang Gang. Join me for my very first episode. This was 17 hours ago. So then that was tomorrow, which was today. So today at 9 a.m. he launched his first video. And I was slack-a-lacking because I was watching the impeachment stuff. So, oh, this lady here, I don't know that I want to give her very much airtime, but yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene is wearing a mask that says censored as she speaks into a microphone on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. Really? Are you really censored? Really? Poor, poor thing. She was I think that she was probably the most annoying out of all of the others. I swear it was her. She's from Georgia. Shocker. Help. I may have been censored. She's going to be blocking everybody. All right, so F that lady. Well, I don't see any response about the impeachment, you guys. I'm really surprised. Let's go back up to the top and see if any of my Twitter peeps. This is our friend Danny. She lives in Thailand. Stay mad, kid. Ro Khanna. There's a lot of talk about what the first 100 days of the Biden presidency and unified control of government could accomplish. What issues should we be fighting for? Medicare for all, of course. God, I have to say that I just wish they would call it universal health care and step away from that Medicare for all. And here's why. Because people with money will always, forever, till the end of time, associate the word Medicare with welfare. If you add the word care to it, it sounds too much like welfare. Care rhymes with welfare. We can't have that. So they really, 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 really need to change their vocabulary surrounding that. And that is one of my first suggestions if anybody important should ever watch this. So $2,000 a month, universal basic income. Let's see how many Yang Gang is on here. So he is, Ro Khanna is a fan of UBI, and he was in on the submitting those bills and stuff. There's a ton. Yep, another UBI. Recurring 2,000 survival checks. I like this one. Pass a permanent, fully reinstated voting rights bill, abolish gerrymandering, and give those that paid their debt to society the ability to vote. I agree with that. If you're done doing your time, you should be allowed to vote. I definitely agree with that. Cancel student debt, $2,000 retroactive payments. Ooh, retroactive would be really nice, wouldn't it? Like go all the way back, like for all of 2020 or something like that, because it was just an entire shit show. Most of it. And then like we were just talking about the other day, it's like, what if they did just like give us each like $20,000? There's 3 of us living here. That's $60,000. That is more than what we paid for this property, let me tell you. So like we could do so much. We could completely turn this into an entirely different place, which is where the bulk of our money would go. Yeah. So yeah, that'd be great. $2,000 a month. I did hear Biden say the other day in some speech, he specifically said the words $15 minimum wage. So it sounds like you guys are going to be getting that. I say you guys because I don't have a job, so that doesn't affect me. But it will affect my husband because he makes less than $15 where he is right now, to the best of my knowledge. UBI, yes. Okay, so the Roses are the Bernie people, and the Bernie people are extremely passionate about the climate change. But in the Yang Gang, Andrew says that we can't really focus on climate change because we're so focused on surviving at home. Like we're so focused on how to like feed our families or how to keep the lights on or whatever, that like climate change is just not, we just can't really give it a lot of energy, So the UBI and universal health care needs to come first and take the boots off our throats and make some other changes. And then I think climate change will actually, honestly, start organically changing, because if we have UBI and universal health care, then more people can afford to stay home, and then we'll have less traffic, less crowding in cities, and people can afford to like spread out a little bit further, and so we don't all have to be smashed together in the big metropolis cities and stuff. And yeah, I mean, that sounds nice. Just like get some dang breathing space. Once that boot gets lifted, then the climate change will feel better. Legalize that tree, bro. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get that out of Biden, though. I really don't. I won't count on that. So, remove any Republican who's carrying a firearm into Congress and who supported the insurrection. I agree with this. Anybody, if a Democrat supported it, anybody that supported the insurrection should not be allowed to serve. So it's not one-sided. If you did that, you need to go. Congressional Review Act. Overturn every single Trump administration rule going back 60 legislative days. Now that's an interesting idea. Oh man, I wish, let me see if anybody has messaged me to see if they want to come in. No. Okay. Canceling student debt. All right, well, that's enough of that. These are all the things that Democrats want that Republicans refuse over and over and over and over and over again to agree with. And then they want us to heal and unify, but they don't care. How can I DM you? Okay. Jacqueline, I see you. And I will send you a link in your private message, okay? Give me just a second, honey. And then, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen because I think Jacqueline, always has a lot to say. So stop. And then paste. I am really tired, you guys. I was doing a little bit of cleaning and I found like a quarter of just like a little bite of a medicated brownie. And I ate that and now I'm feeling just like really, really mellow. There she is. Hello. I can't hear you. Are you talking? Say something so I can hear you.
Something?
There you go. Yep.
Oh, it's confusing.
All right. Do you have any answers to any questions I just threw out there? How long have you been watching?
I just jumped on when I was in the middle of trying to cook. And anyway. So and Donnie says,
yeah,
you're being pinged again. And it's like, okay, run in the thing. And I saw it was you. And I was like, okay. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, we just got to make sure Biden is safe and, you know, that,
I think we need to make sure everybody is safe. Like everybody needs like serious security, even like the, obviously like as well as the Republicans that voted against him, you know?
Oh, especially because no
one is safe right now.
Well, the thing that's even scarier is that these guys have actually in advance planned to also disrupt the inauguration by laying armed siege to every state capitol building simultaneously. Like it's going to be a hit. And there was somebody that was busted with 2,500 rounds of ammunition who had plans to, quote, shoot Pelosi in the head. Okay. I mean, and I just saw in the Slack and I'm waiting for a link to confirm the source.
Noggin. In the Noggin on live TV. Yeah, I quoted that one the other day. In the Noggin on live TV.
No. Catherine M. just shared something a minute ago saying something about the panic buttons were removed from the Congress people's private offices before the invaders made it into the building. So, I mean, there's some real insider baseball going on here. The panic
button. Ready to bring. I'm trying to. Here. We do me a huge favor and throw some ice in here. A whole bunch.
Homie.
I'm having cocktails today. Taste that. It's banana and Malibu rum. I'm sorry, Jacqueline. Ray just came in. Okay, so
it's okay.
I almost never drink cocktails, so I'm really probably a lightweight, and I might get drunk kind of easy off of this one drink.
I'm diabetic, so I can't. So
you don't get to drink it well.
I can drink, well, there's some wines that are like dry wines that are lower in sugar than other things, but other stuff, forget it. I can't have it. I'm diabetic. I can't have it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. My mom was gonna have some of mine. She's like, "Ooh, I'll have one with you." My mom can. Thank you, honey. My mom completely ignores the fact that she's diabetic.
Well, you know, what makes it hard is when people are eating and drinking things in front of you that you can no longer have that you used to enjoy. I don't know how long ago your mom got diagnosed as diabetic, but, you know, it really turns your whole life upside down. And it's especially hard when you're poor. And it's like you're limited on what you can have to eat and to drink. And then it's like, you know, you're dealing with trying to budget.
Luckily for her, I'm the one that buys the groceries. So I am mindful of the food that I buy for her. And, you know, so like I will be, I do try really hard to do that. But like, you can't just, like, I can't just buy her ice cream because she'll eat the whole damn thing of ice cream. You know, you have to get her like little bitty cups of like, I get her these like limeade, like ice. It's like Italian ice, and it's like pretty low sugar or whatever, and it's just like a little tiny serving, and then it's everything in moderation. But if I bought her a thing of ice cream, she'll fucking eat the whole thing of ice cream, you know. It just, oh my gosh, it's really frustrating.
Well, like I said, what's really hard is when you weren't diabetic before, now all of a sudden you are, and then it's like you're every day. Everybody else in the house is eating and drinking the foods in front of you that you love that you can no longer fucking have.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? When you're diabetic, you got a lot more to deal with that, you know, you shouldn't have to deal with that too. You know what I mean? That's why I control what gets bought, what gets brought into the house, what gets cooked.
Yep.
And what does not. Are you out of bananas again, Donnie?
We know where they set. If they ain't there, they're gone.
Okay, well then I'm going to have to make up another order.
Here's this tweet from Scott Santons, and it shows a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer, and you know how they're making excuses for Trump, you know, like, well, yeah, he did this bad thing, but, you know, they're saying like, but so it says, look, so he ate some people, we know that, but is there really a point in convicting him of it when the people aren't even inside him anymore? And would it just serve to divide us into a society of those who eat and or don't eat people?
My man Scott. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is something I saw too. People talking about that we got to roll out the emotional welcome mat, and how these guys that were violent, they had planned to not just take over a building and interrupt or subvert democracy. They planned on murdering people. Okay, they had a hit list.
Yeah.
These are people who would also lynch every last black they could, and frog march every last Jewish American in the crematorium if they could get away with it. These are not people that I particularly find redeemable. You know,
right?
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to hold hands with people that want to strip me of my rights because I'm poor and I'm female and I'm disabled. You know, they wanted to rip healthcare away from people like us. As shoddy and as shitty of a time as you've had with, I know that you've had, it's better than having absolute nothing. You know, you'd be dead. And that's the thing, is that these guys, they don't. We've coddled the far right for 40 fucking years, and this is where it got us. No. No more coddling. I mean, somebody removed the panic buttons out of the Congress people's offices before the attempted coup.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just found out. I checked in on the Humanity First Slack. So Catherine M is going to be posting a follow-up on that with the source, and I'll share it with you and the viewership that you have. We're not dealing with people who are just conservatives. I have friends who are conservatives, okay? They don't do shit like that, okay? They don't advocate for killing every last Jewish American. They don't advocate for, leaving the poor who can't work or who've been pushed out of the economy to suffer and literally die from poverty and lack of health care. But that's what these guys supported because they think they're the only ones that deserve to have anything. I know that people of color, probably don't feel real warm and fuzzy about wanting to, hold hands and sing Kumbaya with people who never wanted them to have the ability to exist as full persons in this society. And we're willing to, lynch them to make sure they were kept down and in their place.
Right.
I mean, there's a difference between conservative and fascist far-right terrorist.
Right.
I can't, terrorists, bullies, and the like, psychopaths, they never stop on their own volition. They have to be stopped. Now,
Yes.
and that means they have to be adjudicated within our legal system, and they have to, be removed from society by being put into prisons. And if a lot of them want to cry crocodile tears right now for their stunt and what they're planning to do on the 17th through the 20th, okay? Well, all I got to say is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Y'all just been hoisted by your own petards. Why? Because during the Black Lives Matter protests, Trump and a Republican majority Congress passed laws that actually would give a minimum 10-year prison sentence for a lot of the lesser crimes that these people are guilty of. Okay. And now they're being hoisted by their own petard. They just never thought it would be used against them. They thought it would only be used against, women, poor people, poor disabled people protesting against Medicaid cuts. They thought it would only be used against blacks protesting against being murdered. They thought it would only, they thought that they would be exempt because they're entitled. Because they're entitled. No more. We can either have we tried this before, Annette, in the Civil War, before it erupted into the Civil War. There were years of concessions that were made between the slaveholding states and the non-slaveholding states. The Kansas-Nebraska Act. And what did that lead to? Well, that led to a lot of bloodshed between the what they were called, the Jayhawkers and the Redlegs. Factions of Missourians and Kansans that literally, I mean, were killing each other. They were killing, entire settlements of people, including innocent women and children. This is what trying to, unity and all that tries to do. It doesn't work. I'm telling you, it doesn't work. Okay.
like that is not my idea of freedom, you know. Like they were beating. I remember they were beating a cop with the American flag.
They beat
and
one
like
of the
how?
police.
How is
Yes.
that?
They beat one cop to death with a fire extinguisher.
Yes, I know.
To death. Bludgeon him.
Look on the counter.
But blue lives matter?
Yes.
But all lives matter?
But then there was the other one just outside the door, and terrible. Yeah. Blue lives matter. So I have some friends that are. I have a friend who is a Trump supporter, but they did not support like what happened at the Capitol. But like beforehand, they were talking about it. They're like, well, we were gonna go, but we decided we'd probably get in trouble, you know. So like people were aware that it was going to be trouble. There was going to be trouble there, you know.
Of course, because these guys planned it, and they planned it in plain sight. They were using GitHub,
yes,
you know, and stuff. And so it wasn't hard to get to suss this out. I mean, you know, but with the fact that there were that the only way a lot of these people could find the non-labeled private offices of the Congress people is if they had a diagram of the freaking building. They knew where the rooms were, or somebody led them to those rooms. Somebody physically, you know, said, "Oh, this way, follow me."
Right.
So I mean, you know, and as far as Trump supporters, you know what? These are the people that would have ripped away Medicaid from me as a poor disabled woman who's diabetic, because they feel entitled to their good life at the expense of me losing my life, or maybe at least at minimum losing a limb or two, or my eyesight, or my fucking kidneys from renal failure, which are all these things are complications of diabetes. So you know what? They've had zero empathy for people like me that weren't lucky in life, that weren't as fortunate as they were. They had no desire to have unity for other poor disabled people that were protesting for their lives against Medicaid cuts back in 2017. Where was the buckets of empathy for us? Where was the buckets of empathy, you know, for people who, who don't have, you know, rich white male privilege? Okay, we're expected to have, always, send out buckets of empathy to the oppressor, but the oppressor never once sends any of that empathy back. Fuck them. Sorry. I mean, I refuse to shed any tears over their fate as far as the length of their prison sentences go.
Yeah.
I've suffered, while these people were coddled to for 40 fucking years. Okay? While they made the lives of poor women, poor people of color, poor disabled people, and poor elderly people a literal fucking hell.
Right.
And these were not economically aggrieved people. Remember, these people, they were put up at the Willard Hotel. A lot of them were. $500 a night. Who paid for that? How much does it cost to buy 2,500 rounds of ammunition and, on top of the vehicle and the trailer to bring that with, that kind of ammo to the Capitol? All right? It's not cheap. These were
You know what I enjoyed is how many people went and then were on the no-fly list and they weren't allowed to fly back home.
Hoist by their own petard. I have zero sympathy for them. How much sympathy have they had for disadvantaged, disadvantaged people in this country who never got to have a chance and who were kept down and kept poor and really oppressed on a structural, systemic level. You know, that
Right.
guy, you know, Mr. Chewbacca bikini guy, you know, that guy with the horns, Mr.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat in jail because I'm a vegan and you're not giving me vegan food. They gave him vegan food now.
Organic
So,
food.
yeah, organic food. And it's like, you know what?
They did? They did?
If that isn't white male privilege, I don't know what is, because I'll tell you what, there have been incidences of poor women in jail that were raped by guards, impregnated, so neither the sex nor the pregnancy that resulted was consensual, and they were forced to endure you know, risky unwanted pregnancies against their will that were the result of rapes. They weren't catered to and allowed to go to get an abortion. They weren't given birth control pills to
Right.
prevent that shit from happening to them. They, you know, diabetics in prison. Diabetics, you think they get cared for really well? They don't. They die real quick. They suffer permanent disability and complications real quick. They're not fed diabetic friendly food. They're lucky if they get their insulin. You know?
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking about poor people. We're talking about people of color. We're talking about poor women. Yeah, and poor white guys too. But even poor white guys, you know, they still rank a little higher, you know,
Sure.
than poor women and poor people of color. And the way this dumbass got catered to, it's like, oh, you know, he's gonna go on a hunger strike if he doesn't get his whatever the fuck it was he wanted, his vegetarian organic diet. And it's like, talk about white male privilege.
Meanwhile, our friend Vigirant is past her 30th day of a hunger strike for UBI.
Meanwhile, many more
Or
gang who are truly poor and don't know where the fuck their next meal is coming from are being forced to go hungry without anybody paying attention to them or supporting them. Okay? You know, I mean, what this, yeah, no, gloves are off now. If people want to hold hands with Nazis, with Klansmen, with people who are willing to and who have no remorse, they have no remorse about killing people to assert their perceived self-entitled right to dominate everything in this country. And that's what this is all about. This is about aggrieved entitlement. No UBI would mollify them. These are people that were already comfortably off to begin with. A lot more comfortably off than most folks in Yang Gang. Yes, I understand it's important to be humanity first, but the Trump supporters that joined Yang Gang, they had a sense for human rights, and you know, they weren't unapologetic sociopaths and psychopaths. Okay, these, you know, but the people that committed this crap and that planned, the ones that weren't caught up in the dragnet yet, that are planning another coup on all 50 states state houses. Okay, right? You know, I'm sorry, there are some. I think Scott Santon's nailed it. He summed it up beautifully in that tweet. Oh, let's just forgive Jeffrey Dahmer and forget he ate people, right? Let's hold
Right,
hands with him.
right.
Yeah. Let's hold hands with him.
Surely
I
we
don't
can
think so.
unify.
No.
We
No.
need to heal.
No, we can't. There was no calls for unity from these people when poor diabetics were dying from not being able to get insulin because they couldn't afford insurance. And they weren't, their state didn't, expand Medicaid under the ACA. Where was the sympathy from these privileged fuck faces for poor diabetics in this country? We're 30 million strong, and you better believe we vote. And where was their sympathy for African Americans who were especially targeted for being murdered by police? Where was the desire for unity then? No,
Right.
There was none. We can either choose to lay down with dogs and wake up with fleas, or put the dogs in the dog houses where they belong. That's our choice.
Okay, I wanted to show, here's a little 1 minute, 23 second clip of a video of Representative Steny Hoyer. He's Democrat from Maryland, majority leader. His speech was really pretty good, and so I want to show this little clip real quick. Hold on, let me go back to this. Man, I am starving. I should have got myself something to eat before I started this.
He knows. Representative Cheney from Wyoming, a conservative Republican, said this: the President of the United States summoned the mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack. That is not some irresponsible new member of the Congress of the United States. This is the daughter of the former Republican whip and former Vice President of the United States of America. She knows of what she speaks. And she said this as well: there has never been a greater betrayal by a president of the United States of his office and his oath of Constitution, to the Constitution. This is not, as Liz Cheney says, just some action. She characterizes it as the biggest betrayal of any president of the United States in our history.
Boy, just for this moment, I sure wish that, I wonder if Trump is on the news someplace. Fox News has to be hosting him, right?
I don't know, but it's it's not just Trump. I mean, there were people in Congress who enabled this and who may have been a lot more than passive enablers. I mean, the truth is we're still ferreting out the truth on who did what. But I mean, that bit about the panic buttons is deeply concerning.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I feel like they need to, with Biden, almost either clean house or investigate everybody. Investigate everybody, because I don't feel like any of the government can be trusted right this minute. Even the ones that just impeached. We don't know who's been compromised or threatened. to do things or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Stolen from?
it's
Oh gosh, I'm getting tired.
it's really scary, Annette.
It is. It is. Okay, well, there's a whole bunch of, I don't know if I can share all these.
YouTube kicked Trump off of there too. He doesn't have his channel
Yeah.
there.
No, I wouldn't have gone to that, but I'm trying to see. I was hoping somebody would have a response from Trump. Somebody's got to be interviewing Trump, but he might just be hiding out, you know? I'm so glad he's not going to get our tax there.
Bunker boy.
Oh, okay. These guys won't mind if I share. So, here's from our friends at Grassroots Yang Gang. Russell and Elisa. Today is Andrew Yang's 46th birthday.
Ooh.
And apparently he gave some sort of cryptic message and what it could mean. So let's see what they have to say. Because I'm getting bored of impeachment stuff already.
Yeah, I gotta I gotta man the stove. I got food in the oven. I gotta kind of tend it, stir it so it doesn't stick and burn and get shitty and yucky.
Okay. All right. Well, you can back out of here. I'm going to watch this for a little while. I'm already at an hour and a half, so I'll give it to a full 2 hours and see if anybody else wants to join me. So,
yep, I'll try to be pop back in. But
no, I'm going to shut it down in about 30, 40 minutes. So,
okay.
So we are experiencing. All right. Well, I'll see you later.
Okay.
We're just taking off
for coming in.
Take care, you.
Okay.
What's up, Yang Gang?
Happy birthday, Andrew Yang.
Oh, you wanted to get that understanding.
Oh, now it's going to be really slow loading.
Happy birthday, Andrew Yang.
Now we don't have anything else to talk about.
That's the end of the live stream. That's all we wanted to do. Say happy birthday to Andrew. Today, I told Steph and I earlier that it was Andrew Yang's birthday. He said, wow, I forgot that was a person. But then he said 46. That is really old.
Me and him are the same age, so I guess he's saying what I'm.
All right. Well, if it's going to take too long to load, I'm not going to do it.
I said, you know, Daddy's 45, right? And he said, well, he's good for his age.
All right. So everybody go subscribe to Grassroots Yang Gang and make sure to give this video a like. Let's build up they've got 10.6 thousand subscribers. I don't even have 40 yet, you guys. So let's go give me some followers too. That'd be great. Okay. Nothing there. Let's see. Donald Trump is trending. Twitter is so much easier to navigate than Facebook. Okay. Twice impeached, two-time popular vote loser, most same party votes for impeachment in history, bigly disgraced one-term president. If Morgan Freeman says so, it must be true. Okay, Rashida. Oh, because I spelled her name wrong. That's why I couldn't find her earlier. I knew I was spelling something wrong. I would really love to find the video of her. Okay, hold on. Let's watch this.
Article of impeachment against Donald Trump. Madam Speaker, St. Louis and I rise in support of the article of impeachment against Donald J. Trump. If we fail to remove a white supremacist president who incited a white supremacist insurrection, it's communities like Missouri's 1st District that suffer the most. The 117th Congress must understand that we have a mandate to legislate in defense of Black lives. The first step in that process is to root out white supremacy, starting with impeaching the white supremacist in chief. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you, and I yield back.
Madam Speaker, St. Louis and I rise in support of the article of impeachment.
Very nice. I really, really want to see her. I have a t-shirt that says, "Suck it up, buttercups." I just wore it yesterday, actually. This is so true. Rashida says, racist in chief, and said, those who incited an attack on the people's house do not get to talk about healing and unity. They have stoked the fire and then handed the gasoline to Donald Trump. They had bombs. They killed several people. They had nooses, zip ties, and pipes. They came armed and with bulletproof vests. They chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." They hunted the Speaker of the House. This was a serious attack on America, and it was incited by Trump. We must remove him. Agreed. And his people need to give us a hot goddamn minute. Like, y'all have some work to do if you want us to try to unify with you. Like, everybody needs to denounce what happened and like not keep that going. Oh, okay. So this says the attack on the Capitol was coordinated and planned. Here are the insurrectionists talking about the plan, including detailed schematics of the Capitol building. That's what we were just talking about.
What's the floor plan? Back to work. There's a north and the right. Let's talk. Going downstairs. Back to around. Towards the east. That's what we're gonna do. Doors already open. We just need a plan. We need enough people. We need to push forward. Okay. Door right here. Not door that door. Downstairs. Go back.
Okay. Hey guys, I've been in the other room. Listen to me. In the other room on the other side of this door, right here where these feet are standing, there is a glass that if somebody, if it's broken, you can drop down into a room underneath it. There's also 2 doors in the other room. One in the rear and one to the right when you go in. So people should probably coordinate together if you're going to take this building. Well, we got another window to break so they can get it out easy. And this window here in the whole room needs to be broken. Yeah, let's see it. And then you have to window here. Line the front out. Before it comes over there.
Wow. All right. Well, It's all really heavy. Let me see what this is. I guess that's the news. That's about all I can talk about. We looked at Yang. We looked at this. We looked at Twitter. Nothing really good anymore. I'm tired now. The half a cocktail. I only drank half of this, and I'm just like, man, I'm beat. I'm tired. So whoever tuned in, thanks for tuning in, and I guess we'll see you guys next time. And congratulations, America. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Now we just need to get him physically out and then start punishing all the people. You know, if you don't do the crime if you can't do the time, right? So, all right, well, peace. Love you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you later.